See, that's what happens when you do women run the show. Everything works perfectly. So yesterday I tried to do it myself. It didn't start. Just a quick question about starting. Who started to use the app so far? We've got an Covestro app. 1, 2. Yeah, you don't count. You do that again, I cut off your hands. Okay. 2, 1, 2. Oh, excellent. So all the others, you will be intrigued to find out that it actually is worth downloading this app, not only for the content, but also for the games. It's been designed with designers. So there really is a fun and entertainment aspect and also the content aspect. So it really pays off. And I'll tell you more about that later if you want to. But for now, welcome to Covestro at the Car Messe officially. Covestro, as you know, wurde 2015 gegründet, and it is going strong ever since. It is a world-leading polymers company, ein Unternehmen, das Produkte herstellt und ermöglicht, die wir überall in unserem Alltag finden. Und bei allen Entwicklungen will Covestro eigentlich eines: to push boundaries of what is possible, to make the world a brighter place. Daher einmal eine ganz kurze Frage an Sie. Quick question to you. What would make the world a brighter place from your point of view, sir? What would make the world a brighter place?
Many beautiful colors.
Many beautiful colors. We covered that. What else? No, just kidding. Okay, anything else? What would make the world a brighter place from your point of view?
Excellent products, being actually good to nature.
Okay.
And, yeah, good functionalities.
Good functionalities, great products, good for nature. I think we got that covered too. But we'll see, because obviously we're going to start with a keynote. And by the way, übrigens, Sie können auch Fragen stellen gleich. Of course, you can ask questions too later after the upcoming keynote. Because innovation is always about co-creation and communication, as you know. So, Covestro möchte also erreichen, dass die Welt a brighter place wird. Und zwar in segments as automotive, construction, electrical and electronics industries, as well as wood and furniture, sports and leisure. Doch wie sieht sowas aus? What does this look like when innovation knows no boundaries? It is actually all present. It's in the office, it's in the plant, or it's in under your rear, because what you see there is a collaboration under your rear with customers. It's the entire value-added chain that costs. Und wie das konkret aussieht, das werden wir jetzt erfahren, because the upcoming keynote represents a company whose engineers are said to be the world's problem solvers. Whenever products don't work, design engineers do something about it. They invent and improve. And in cooperation with Covestro, Dyson finds, as our speaker phrases it, a perfect teammate demonstrated by its strong push to innovate, providing innovative products, technical support based on a global setup, and Covestro assists Dyson's philosophy. So let's hear more about that, because we welcome the Global Director of Procurement and NPI, New Technology in Dyson, Brendan Keeley.
Thank you, Carl. Very nice introduction. You're very welcome today, guys. Thank you for listening to me. I hope to keep you, so we say, entertained for at least 20 minutes. And if you stay the whole course, we'll make sure we give you a free glass of water before you leave, okay? Okay, so again, I work for Dyson. I'm based in the UK. I'm an Irish guy, as you can tell from the accent, so I will speak very slowly so you can understand me. I work together with 2,000 engineers and development teams in the UK. Dyson is a company with 7,000 strong. We're growing, continually growing. We're very successful, and you know we're very thankful that we're very successful. So we continue to innovate, as Carl said, and our products just get more challenging and challenging. And those engineers, they challenge you. Believe me, they challenge me and my global procurement team every day. So enough about me, but we're going to talk today about, you know, what are we? Well, we're a global technology company. From cleaning your carpets to the air you breathe, Dyson has challenged convention and has helped to create a more comfortable home environment for everybody. With more than 2,000 engineers and scientists in the UK, as Malaysia and Singapore, and we've just also now launched a facility in the Philippines, we're growing. We continue to grow and innovate. So we'll start the presentation now. So take a deep breath. I'm going to start off by taking a closer look at the air that we breathe. Every single minute, we breathe 10 liters of air. I didn't know that till I joined Dyson. So that's a very interesting fact. So think about that, 10 liters of air that we breathe. The air passes through our nose, our mouth, our lungs, with immediate effect on our well-being. And yet, do you know anything about the air that you breathe? You probably don't. What is in the air? What is in the air here today? We probably don't. So it's intriguing. And you know, the Dyson Pure Cool, which is what we have here today, removes 99.95% of all the allergens and pollutants as small as 0.1 micron from the air. That's pretty astounding. Okay, so basically what we're trying to do is make the air better and cleaner and help you live longer. So hopefully we can achieve that. And it does so intelligently. So air pollution is not just something that affects us outdoors, it affects us indoors. So according to one study, the average home can be up to 5 minutes more polluted, or sorry, 5 times more polluted than the air outside. So think of that. The air in your home can actually be 5 times more polluted than outside. That's incredible. Talk about that a little bit more. So young children and the elderly can be particularly sensitive to the negative consequences of low quality air. Okay? Common indoor air pollutants, okay? So we got toxic fumes, deodorant, scented candles, paint fumes, and other major indoor air pollutants include mold, pollen, and allergens. Got a nice little demonstration of that, you know, the home, and some of the chemicals and where we see them within the home. I hope you can understand the slide. Okay. So most of the particles are invisible to the human eye, right? I mean, 0.1. We really can't see them. I mean, that's obviously magnified tremendously. But they're there, and they can seriously affect our well-being in our homes. At Dyson, we care about the air. That's why we develop these products. So because it's something that we all breathe, remember, 10 liters every minute. Think about that again. Staggering. Okay, so particles bigger than PM10, okay, are filtered through the cilia and don't go further than the bronchi. They are generally filtered in the air via the nose, via the cilia mucus. Then our body eliminates it through such processes as sneezing and coughing. All particles smaller than 2.5 can penetrate very deeply into the lungs, very, very deeply into the lungs, collecting in tiny air sacs in the lungs. Where oxygen enters the bloodstream, health problems start to begin, and the body starts to react to the foreign particles. The smaller the particles, the more they're able to, you know, get into the lungs and to the bloodstream, and that's when it becomes a real problem, and it causes allergic responses and reactions to your system. So some purifiers, you know, some they're out there in the marketplace, they remove, you know, large particles, but not the small particles. They are sometimes very ineffective when removing the harmful particles, like the ultrafine particles that we spoke about, and then they escape back into your room. So they're not captured. They're captured for maybe a couple of minutes, but they're released back into your room. You're back to square one. And that's a problem. And that's what we tried to solve with our machine, where we said, we'll take all the particles, we'll put them into the filter, and we won't release them back into your room. So it's making your home safer and cleaner. Again, some of our purifiers have a higher face velocity and a lower grade of filter media. We focus on the media that, again, as I said, it removes everything from the air. So some filters can be porous, ours are not. They capture everything. Well, we hope they do. Okay. Some machines rely on big AC motors and large hungry filters. We don't do that. As you can see, the machine has, you know, a pretty big filter, but not as big as the one on the screen. So we've really shrunk everything. Okay. Okay. Again, in Dyson, we talked about earlier on, we've got 2,000 engineers who just focus on fluid dynamics, filtration system, airflow, and software development. So it's got a huge amount of attention in our company. And again, our products will continue to innovate and develop more and more to make the home safer. Electric fans have remained essentially unchanged for over 100 years, but in 2009, we developed the Dyson AMO1. While it got rid of the blades and introduced a new way to deliver air through air multiplier technology. Then came the AMO4, the AMO5, the hot and cool, a machine to deliver both hot and cooling airflow to the home. And our engineers have just continued to, innovate. And again, one of the things that we've done is we've, made our machines 75% quieter. And I don't know, actually, good question, right? Lighten things up a little bit. Who owns a Dyson fan in here in the audience? It's interesting. One? You got one taker? That's it? And hang on, I've got 5 colleagues from Dyson here, and you don't own a fan? Okay. Put your hand up. That helps. Makes it look better. Okay. So again, the new Pure Cool, right, is engineered to purify the air intelligently. Is a purifier that can measure all your air quality in your home, provide an indication of this air quality, and automatically purify the air. And again, it removes all the defects. So again, last thing I'll talk about the purifier is that, you know, we use a glass HEPA filter, right? Very difficult, and again, that's the challenge to the procurement team. How can we go and source all these materials? It's with great difficulty, but again, we do that with our partners like Covestro, and you know, we continue that innovation. Okay, so what we're going to do, my able assistant Axel is here in the room. We're going to do a little demonstration again. So basically, within the product, okay, we've tested it, you know, we've basically the Internet of Things, so we've made it Wi-Fi compatible, right? So Axel, what he's going to do, he's going to show you now actually how the machine will work. Go ahead, Axel.
First of all, this is already running, so I try to see anything.
Have you got a mic, guys? No, can we get it to the machine?
You can just look at mine. Okay. Does it say anything? Hello?
It might talk back.
Yes. You never know with these new machines.
I think basically the point is, guys, 75% quieter, even working on full flow. It's a very, very quiet machine. It's very intelligent.
Hello.
Can you feel that?
Yes.
Yeah. Right
And
now
you
I
can
could
hear
do it
it.
because I'm feeling a little bit hot.
Yeah. Well, we can twist it around. It's
And again,
on 10.
yeah, what's very interesting, we developed our own app and our own software. And basically you can control the machine from your office. You know, when you're leaving work, and let's say you know, and ladies don't be offended, but you know your wife is cooking, the air is going to be pretty bad. You want to clean that air before you come home, or vice versa. You turn it on maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, and then you come home, basically your air is being purified again. And it does work, trust me, because I'm the worst cook in the world. I promise you, it works. Okay, so again, one of the clever things about the app, and I keep looking up here, and it's actually in front of me, I've just realized that. We can talk about the temperature, we can talk about the air cleanliness, the air index in the different locations. And you can see on the top, we just kind of showed Singapore, so not right now, but normally what you can see is you can see how the AQI is in Singapore, basically how the air rating is in those regions. And there's a reason for that, because we have a software that we've developed and put into the machine with a number of sensors that will give you all that information. So basically, you know what's going on in your own home, you can control it, okay, you can schedule it like an alarm, you can schedule your fan to go on and off. That's pretty clever. It's pretty clever.
Eventually, it's of interest. Currently, 24 degrees centigrade, 51% air humidity.
Did everybody hear that? So now you know how the temperature is. Right now, it's about 50 degrees up here for me. Okay. And again, again, Breezometer is a software that we developed for a machine. That's another partner, just like Covestro to Dyson. And we challenged them. We gave them something. We said, we really want to do this. And we challenged them. They said, we don't think we can do that. But they did. They delivered. So the machine, again, can predict and you can tell you what's going on. You can look. You can change the settings. You can look and see what the air quality is in France, in Germany, in Holland, whatever you want. You can see it live on your app. Okay. So changes in air quality, you know, the gradual changes can be imperceptible, you know, much like the iconic clear bin provided by James on the first Dyson vacuum. So where am I going with that? Well, that's basically what we're saying is, you know, that again, the product, we monitor how the machines, you know, how they perform. We make tweaks, we upgrade them, and we basically make them even better. So we don't just stop at one machine. We want to continue to make it better and innovate. Okay, so we also interviewed users and gathered feedback, and we did all that, and then we put in what we call a night mode, and that was a result of our trialing with our users. And again, the night mode will kind of limit the machine's maximum speed. So basically, when you're asleep, you won't hear a machine running at full speed, but it will limit the noise, and you'll sleep happily and soundly, knowing that your room is being purified. Okay. The Dyson Pure Link, it's available in a tower. This is the desk format, but you're also available in a tower format, which is the bigger machine, which some of you might have seen before. In addition to purifying the air, the machine doubles as a fan, of course, and looks, you know, it projects a long stream of cool air, as we just showed. Can you feel it over there? You can feel it over there. It's pretty impressive, right? You agree? Good. All right. Good. Okay. Okay. And actually, just to add, I can announce it now, is that basically that's a cool air fan, but we've actually just launched the hot and cool air sister fan. So now you can get hot and cool air from the same product. Okay. So basically, again, I'm going to wrap up a little bit on that. You know, we're not afraid of trying new things. We'll develop expertise in our vacuum cleaners, and we're proficient in our purifiers, and now we're connecting software to hardware. So again, you know, going forward, as you can tell, most of our machines will be all Wi-Fi enabled. So we'll have, you know, iOS, Android. We can work on both platforms. So again, you know, we're solving everyday problems. Ultimately, the company's about engineering. And again, I'm very proud to be here today to talk about the Dyson Pure Cooling. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That was fascinating and it's still working. So you said it was about everyday products used in everyday lives. We have big halls here, as you notice, and we have got, I think it's hall number 10 and 11, where they have the big machinery and they work a lot with plastic. So I don't know who of you has ever been in one of those halls, but you can really smell it. And the question is, how many of these do you need to get to get the gentlemen and ladies over there a nice working condition?
One or two.
One or two, okay. So we take this as a starters. Any more sensible questions from your point of view? Anything you want to know? Because once he's here, it always pays off to ask questions.
Sure.
And to find out about what you connect with this topic. So just raise your hand. As you notice, we've got microphones. Okay, we've got one over there. The other one's coming for question number 2. We start over there. Switch on the microphone, please. God. I think it's called God.
Hi, Brendan. Yeah, great stuff. Justin Cunningham from Eureka magazine in the UK. Can you talk us through the material selection and how that played a part in the engineering of the products?
So the material select. Well, obviously, we can talk a little bit about that. We can't talk too much. That's some of our secrets, right? But again, we go through, you know, how many. My team are here. We'll talk about it a little bit. We did 365 iterations of that product before we got it right. So I think the answer to the question is we look at everything, and we want to, you know, again, as we said, we solve problems with our designs that others ignore. So we try to, you know, put the latest and greatest technology into our products, and we do that successfully. And I think Covestro will tell you about that, because I think we pushed them to the pin of their collar to come up with, you know, a product or a compound that would work in our product. But happy to have a further discussion with you after the show. Okay, thank you.
So how important is it how people actually react to surfaces that you incorporate? Because we've got the test bar, so to speak, next door, and people really love to touch and experience the feel of the products or of the coatings.
Yeah.
Was that one of the major reasons for all these iterations, that people said, looks good, but the way it feels is not sort of...
We're very similar, actually, when you think about the corporate values of Covestro. And again, this is not a plug for Covestro, it's just a fact. They've got the 3 C's, the colourful, courageous, and curious. And again, when we talk about colourful, Dyson wants to be colourful, but we also want to, you know, provide a product that people. Again, I have some notes that I wrote, actually perfect into my notes. Did you know I had these notes now?
I wrote them.
You wrote them. Okay, fair enough. Again, it's all about the user experience, right? We want people to have a good experience of a Dyson product, and we think that, you know, we don't actually change dramatically, but we do make subtle changes fairly regularly. But again, it's all about that look and feel and that user experience, that out-of-box experience. We want the people to enjoy that when they buy a Dyson product. Okay. Again, one of the successful things is that, you know, when you buy a Dyson, you typically come back and buy a second or a third. Right. And that's what we found in market studies.
Okay, and that's in part to the way that it feels and that it handles.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
So here's one question from row number 1.
Yes, I would like to know how much Covestro is inside of this product and what parts are eventually Covestro.
Yeah, well, I won't talk about the cost, okay? That's not fair. But there's a fair amount of parts, a fair amount of, you know, polymers or resins. Yeah? You want to show, Axel? You're very proud of it?
We'll give you a microphone. Hang on. Makes it easier.
We'll get Axel into the equation here.
Yeah, it's a very tight rope, isn't it? You have to explain it, but you can't explain too much because you might go back.
Thank you, Carl. You're right.
For sure, an area of applications.
A little closer to the mouth.
For sure, an area of applications for a product are surface-related products. You mentioned already that the perfect surface quality our products provide are can be key here, are key here. So in addition, in the internal parts, one could assume that products that are in direct contact with current,
Okay.
so might be
Yes.
from Covestro.
Insulation.
So the air amp is Covestro material.
Yeah, you should actually. Well, is it possible for them to later on come down and at
Yeah,
least sort of
come down.
Oh!
I'll take it apart. You can play and feel with it. Sure, no problem.
Okay,
It's
okay.
easy.
Because now that I'm close to it, it really looks like you want to touch
Yeah,
it. Because
please
it's
come and
so-
do it. I
That's
encourage you to do it.
Please.
Allow me a question from my side. What about services? So we have filters in. Is there any service needed?
That's a great question. So one of the unique things about having our own app and our own software is that when the filter reaches maximum kind of saturation, it sends you a note on the app to tell you need to replace the filter, right? And you obviously buy a new filter because it's very important. We would like to be able to wash it and stuff, but it really won't work. We tried that because we wanted to make it easier for the consumer to run the product. If you look at our vacuum cleaners and stuff and you just clean the filters, you replace them, off you go again. But unfortunately with this, because of technology, you need to replace the filter. But again, it lasts for, I'm going to be wrong, but it lasts for up to maybe 60, 80 hours. So it's pretty long run time.
And
Okay,
is it
excellent.
correct that
Thank you
the
very
app
much.
Might help to inform me whether the lifetime has come to an end.
Oh yes, absolutely. And then it'll tell you where to go and buy the
Thank you.
new filter. And it'll
Okay.
deliver it within 2 days.
Excellent. When in doubt, I think the lady next to you, the way that she went like, yeah, she knows
Yeah, but
the
Carl,
answer to
she
that
works for
question.
Dyson.
I know. But just in case he's busy, you can ask her. Okay, so there's another question here.
Yeah, hi. What kind of testing do you do to make sure that the materials that you're choosing are the correct ones for your fans?
Again, I'm a procurement guy, but I can tell you a lot. The testing, I mean, James will never, he likes to make mistakes because he feels if you make mistakes, you'll get things right. But the testing, it's considerable. Again, Axel, if we talked about testing from a Covestro perspective, so I'm going to put the question back to you. What did you guys do for us? Because I think I know the answer to that.
So we just get the answer and then we get your question, sir.
Yeah, for sure. We have standard procedures within our productions.
Yep.
That is quite normal. However, when being approved by a really challenging customer like Dyson, there are certain hurdles we have to take which are not represented by our standard procedure. So that goes into
Right.
toughness, surface, electrical behavior, environmentally friendly is a request as well. So
Yeah, so
lots
so
of details.
I guess to answer your question, we do all the standard testing, but we go beyond that. And the stuff that we go beyond is a little bit on the sensitive side, so I really wouldn't want to talk about that. But believe me, these things are bulletproof. They're bulletproof.
So basically that also implies that you have to communicate quite a lot, because if it's anything that veers off the standard has to do with communication, being clear about what you're going to find out and how you deal with the results.
Yeah, again, as I say to my team globally on a regular basis when we're dealing with the engineering team, you have to expect the unexpected because, believe me, they want the unexpected.
Okay, good. One question might be unexpected. We'll see as to what it addresses. There you go, sir. Thank you.
What is the technology limitation as far as making it as large as possible? What is the technology limitation for size?
Thank you.
I would say it's the power you can drive through the machine, right? And again, we're constantly evolving. We're always increasing the power and reducing the noise of the machine. But I would think, for me, it would be the power of the machine, driving enough power to, as he said, to clear the room up. I don't think we could do that. But again, we're very kind of, we're a consumer type brand. To get to that kind of industrial stage, I don't think our products are ready for that right now. So I think it's power, driving enough power to the machine. That would be the challenge. But believe me, they're back in the UK trying to fix that, I can assure you.
So they've got 3 years for hall number 10. Okay, so let's see. Anything else you might want to know? Yes.
Oh.
Nothing-
In Mandarin, please.
No, nothing to do with Covestro. Just from a consumer perspective, most of the time when you develop a new product, you always launch in Tokyo or London. What is the reason for that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question, and people ask that a lot. Actually, to be honest, we've recently just launched a new product, and we didn't launch it in Tokyo for the first time ever. So Tokyo is a, James is an affiliation with Japan. He loves Japan, he loves design. And yeah, Tokyo would be where we predominantly launch our new products, but we're starting to change that trend. But Japan is a huge market for us, guys. So when you have a huge market, you tend to launch in those markets. But again, our markets are growing in the US, in Europe, in Asia. So yes, we will launch new products in different markets going forward. And I'll make sure I mention that. You mentioned that, okay?
Has it ever happened that you came across a material that brought together a whole new concept or a new idea?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, the answer is yes. and again, we in engineering, as in life, you can make mistakes, and we do.
Okay.
But we just push all the boundaries. I mean, the engineers and James is very hands-on in our business, and he's pushing those boundaries, and he wants something that you can't believe. You asked a question yesterday, what would you change in life? I would say make life easier for me. but we have to find those different materials. Just, again, it's just a complete challenge from every day, from, 8 in the morning to 8 at night.
Okay.
It's a different challenge.
Yeah.
And with all our you've seen, we've recently gone into the beauty care portfolio. So we're now making the Supersonic. Actually, here's a good question, because people yesterday, who knows about the Dyson Supersonic?
Just show of hands.
Okay, right.
Oh,
so
that's
most of the people who work in Dyson and Covestro know that answer, but some don't. So Supersonic's a hairdryer. If you didn't know, I suggest you Google it. And any of the ladies in the audience, make sure your husbands or your boyfriends or your partners buy one, because it's a very cool product. And you can ask any of my Dyson lady colleagues who will tell you all about the hairdryer. We solve problems that people couldn't solve.
Okay.
From a quietness, from a lightness, and from a hair care perspective. It's a very interesting product.
Oh, wow. Actually,
No good for the gentleman in the audience. I'm not looking at anybody who's bald, so please don't be offended. But it's no good for me. It's probably no good for you guys. But it's very beneficial for the ladies in the audience. Trust me. Okay. So you know what to ask for Christmas. Sorry, Carl. Make sure you ask for a Supersonic for Christmas.
And get one of these hair growing tonics for your husband, and then you can
I
share
tried
it.
that. It didn't work.
Excellent. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen? We've still got time for 1 or 2 questions, so if there's anything you want to ask while you have a microphone and while you can still approach them, because I reckon that a lot of people are going to come down straight towards you, going to ask you on a more informal basis.
Fine.
So that's going to take a while. If you want to ask your question right now, that would be much easier. Okay. So yeah, you get your microphone.
Hang on, he asked a question. You can't ask 2 questions.
It's only it's a general one. I'll go for another one just because no one else is. You asked everyone to raise their hand that's got a kind of air purifier, Dyson air purifier. Yep. I imagine if you asked it about vacuum cleaners, you'd have a very different response. Is this product aimed to kind of make air purifiers more sort of popular, more mainstream? Would you like that sort of, come back in 3 years' time and half the audience doing it? Is that kind of an aim?
It's a good question. You guys tend to ask good questions. But I think, honestly, from a personal perspective, we've got a certain category. We've got 5 categories within the business. This whole, we started off with the AMO1, as I told you, like just a normal fan. And we've grown and grown. And we're just pushing boundaries, going into different markets, looking for different areas to grow. We talked about the Dyson Supersonic as well. No one would have thought we'd be building something in the beauty care. Did anybody think we'd be building a hairdryer? Probably not. Even when I joined the company 3.5 years ago, and they said, listen, the first thing you need to do is put a supply chain together for building a hairdryer. And I went, hang on, I thought we made vacuum cleaners and fans and taps, and no, we're going to make a hairdryer. And for 3.5 years, I kept that from my wife, my kids. I couldn't mention it to anybody. But no, this is a serious attack on what we feel is a problem in the industry or in the world, and we want to solve that problem. So it's just adding to our growing portfolio of products.
Excellent. Let me just...
Actually, can I ask the question? Yeah. Who does own a Dyson vacuum cleaner? Knowing that I'm in Germany, I know it's a very delicate question, but... Okay, the number just grew.
Okay, up.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So the guys, they think, I don't know, it's transparent, but they're not even sure about the brand.
It'll make your life a lot easier. Trust me, guys. You really will.
Excellent.
Okay.
So, just to double check, any more questions right now with a microphone in your face? None of that? Then I have to say an extra thank you, because as you said at the beginning, you're filling in for one of the engineers, and you had to answer a lot of questions, and you did a great job. So thank you very much to you, and thank you very much to you. Have a great day.